Help! I have fallen and I can't get up.
Hold on, lady. Jay Thomas is on, and I need to know what's going on today. I'll be with you after the show. Now, where's that volume knob? I need to turn this thing up.
All right. Turn it up.
And now, from a secret location outside of Hooker, Oklahoma, nestled in our DEFCON 1 priority bunker, safely ensconced hundreds of feet below the fruited plains where America grows her amber waves. Articulating profundities with humor and perspicacity seldom heard between these purple mountains' majesty, it's the Jay Thomas Show, with your humble host, Jay Thomas.
Well, thank you, Alex. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Jay Thomas Show. And if you're wondering what this is, it's hooked up to the phone so I can speak to Cece. She's not here on premises today, but you're out there, right, Cece? Well, thank you. You're awesome. You're awesome, possum. Okay, so this morning we did a little news frolic for Oklahoma, and in it we had an article from the Tulsa World, Alex Gladden. Not to be confused with our announcer. Okay, it says here, without SNAP benefits, and he writes about Amanda Treaster, had to forego fulfilling some of her prescriptions and to put food on the table, yada, yada, yada. And he says here that Treaster, and I hope I'm getting her name right, is one of the almost 700,000 Oklahomans who are on food stamps, SNAP. Struggling to find food since the Democrats shut the federal government down. I inserted the Democrats. He didn't put it in there. He should have, because that's the truth, but it's the Tulsa World, so what do you expect? Anyway, and she says that she's been making ends meet by doing a lot of juggling, being very creative with meals, which I think you should be anyway. No snacks. Well, it is SNAP, or food stamps, right? Can't buy booze with it, shouldn't be buying snacks. And only eating the designated meals, which I'm assuming that means breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And one of them was going to stand in the food line at the food banks. Okay, that doesn't sound real fun. Okay, but what the number that caught my eye was 700,000 Oklahomans. That's almost 18% of the population. We can just call it 1 in 5. That's a lot of people. Now I don't know where he got that number, so I did a little searching, and here it is: the USDA, Food and Nutrition Services, Department of Agriculture, and he's right. So total SNAP participants, and this is in 2022. Is 617,805 in 2022. We had an increase of illegals into Oklahoma, so I can see that increasing. And so they break it out on children under 18, under 60 with disabilities, yada, yada, yada. And this is not all who qualify for SNAP receive it. I'm sure they want to make that 100%. So here's some interesting numbers I saw. In 2019, and this is before the COVID, 90% of all eligible people in Oklahoma receive SNAP. Now this is from Department of Agriculture. 90%. Then in 2018, It was only 32%. What? Oh, this is the elderly. Okay. And then 74% are the working poor, and that's where they get the 90%. Okay. So uh, these are 2018, 2019. Well, it says here that they have food insecurity between 20 and 22. 2020 and 2022. 14.3% food insecure. Very low food insecurity is 5%. Blah, blah, blah. And an average of $97.16 million in SNAP benefits were issued each month in Oklahoma for 2022. So there it is. So that's now again that's 3 years ago. So I'm sure it's higher now. What's that? She is sending me. Oh no, Cece is texting me. She says, "Does that include disabled?" Yes, that's there. It is. Adults under 60 with disabilities was 70,000. I'm sorry, I didn't say that. To make it clear. Okay, so that is a lot of people. Now you take that number, and I I'm gonna have to agree with it. I'm gonna have to believe it because it comes from the Department of Agriculture. But then you take this number, and let me bring up X here for a second. Where'd it go? Where'd it go? Ah, oh no. Bring up X here, and you type in SNAP benefits. Boom. Something went wrong. What the hell are you talking about? There is a. Well, okay. It's not coming up on X again, but here's what it says. It says there's 5,000 people that they found on SNAP that were dead. That makes sense because approximately 7,000 people a year die just naturally. So let's say that 5,000 of them were on food stamps. With these numbers, sounds pretty right on. And 5,000 people die, right? The family members they're not going to turn that in. That's free money. So of course, you're going to have 5,000 people. The other thing it said is there's 500,000 people on SNAP that are fraudulent. They have the same. It's the same person. They have two cards. Two cards issued to the same name, to the same person. So let me look for that. Let me look for that on Snap. You can, what's really weird is you can ask Grok anything. Let me go to Grok, and we'll see. Let's see. 500,000 Snap fraud. We'll just put that in there and see what he says. Well, what the? He is unable to reply. Really? Okay. All right. Anyway, so it was on Laura Ingram. So maybe you didn't go there. But the lady was on Laura Ingram. She said there's 500,000 people that they know have the same name or are getting two SNAP benefits under the same name, the same person. Because I'm sure there's a lot of John Smiths. So my question is, how many people in Oklahoma are fraudulent? Because if there's 500,000 people on average, that would be 10,000 people in the state receiving SNAP ineligibly or fraudulently. So we probably have our share. But people aren't going to look into it. Also, we have, let's see, where'd she go? We have a lady who is a counselor and on the city council here in Tulsa. Her name is Vanessa Hall Harper. She's a Democrat, and she's mighty upset that when they were taking these bodies out from the 1921 race massacre that have been buried in this cemetery, they took them out because they were unmarked graves, and when they're buried in a cemetery, I mean, they took them out and they draped the flag of, and I'm looking for this. They draped the flag of Tulsa City over them, and she freaked out. And she has compared that to the Nazis or the taking Holocaust survivors and draping the Nazi flag over it. But because of course everything is Nazism. It's I looked her up and I'm looking for that page. I looked her up, and she is a race nut. There's her picture. She's District 1, Vanessa Hall Harper. Guess what her phone number is? Her phone number is 918-596-1921, the year of the race riot. Her fax number is, get this, her fax number is 918-596-1964. Wow. That's the year that of the civil rights law. My God. And she has a Master of Science in Management, whatever the hell that is. I'm sure there's, she was a intake counselor at Tulsa County Juvenile Bureau. Okay. And let's see. There's something here that here it is. Okay. And she's also been involved in several community initiatives, such as the creation of the African American Affairs Commission within the city of Tulsa. I wonder if there's a Swedish Affairs Commission, or English, or in my case, a Polish or a Dutch, but apparently not. Okay, and then within the city of Tulsa infrastructure. So I have no clue. What the hell is that? The rebuilding of the B.C. Franklin Park, the creation of the Tulsa Expungement Expo. The Expungement Expo. Expungement is a legal term, and if you have usually it's a minor felony, you can go and get that taken off your record. So that might help out people, right? But she's on the Housing and Policy Committee and the Black Contractors Association, yada, yada, yada. Anyway, she just goes on. She's a race hustler, and she's like just, the biggest race hustler around. But you have all these pictures of all these happy white people going, yeah, she's great. Nope, no, I don't think so. I sent her an email, and I invited her to, she said she's so upset. She's saying that, draping the bodies of these excavated victims of the Tulsa race riot who were murdered by, to me, I think there's probably about 70 blacks were murdered, and about 30 whites were probably killed in self-defense by the blacks. So, I mean, it's a bad thing that happened, but there's not 300. And I don't think I don't think there's this mass grave anywhere. I think they just hurried up and buried a lot of people because in 1921 there wasn't a lot of refrigeration. You didn't have. It wasn't like you turn on the TV and watch some stupid cop program where they have, it wasn't. They had to bury bodies quickly. First of all, it's in the middle of June, getting to July, and they have 100 bodies laying around. Nope. So they buried them in prospective graves, probably white, black cemeteries back then, and they probably didn't. They didn't put headstones on it. Now, she's milking this because she doesn't think anybody's going to confront her on it. Well, I will, but anyway, so she is just the, the the thought that she could compare the draping of the Tulsa flag now over these bodies in a respectful manner to the Nazi flag being draped over the remains of Holocaust victims is just freaking absurd. It's just such bullcrap. And she's a Democrat. So I assume that she understands or knows the history of the Democrat Party. If not, let me clue her in. The Democrats wanted to expand slavery, started the Civil War to protect slavery, and when they lost the Civil War, they literally created the KKK to enforce their Jim Crow laws and lynch blacks and white Republicans who were trying to register them to vote. And they did this, they did this wholeheartedly. And I'm pretty sure that she says that the city is racist, and that's why she's against this, them draping the flag. That it was the city's fault. Well, yeah, the mayor at the time was a Republican, and the city didn't instigate this. You should read about it if you haven't. And I'm going to do a show on the second part of my thing on the race riot. And I'm pretty sure the Democrats and the KKK were the base of these people who created the race riot. So, but she's a Democrat, right? So, Democrats aren't racist. They've never been racist. As a matter of fact, they're the best people in the world. So it's just more race mongering bullcrap from another black politician. And I just, they are all on the Democrat side because that's all they have. So that's the other thing. I'm going to put her away. I wrote her I invited her to come on and have a conversation if she wants, but she hasn't gotten back to me at this point. I'll let you know if she does. So onto our other stuff in the bag of in our little stack of stuff here, our stack of news frolics. So this is interesting. The mayor, Mayor Nichols, Mayor 5 Cent. You've heard of 50 Cent? Well, we got Mayor 5 Cent. He held the State of the City address, and it was open to the public. That's a big plus for him. And it was free, so they didn't charge for it. I mean, how? Anyway, so he went on to he wants to raise taxes. Let me get this amount right. 7/10 of 1 cent. So let's see here. We're gonna look this up. This is in Channel 6. Tulsa Mayor. There, no, not yeah. There it is. Tulsa Mayor. State of the City. So he did this. He wanted to. It's a they say it's the first state of the city, his first state of the city address, and they all say this. They all really like the way that uh, politicians talk. Okay, so this is what he said. For less than a penny, our sales tax rate could reach a competitive level at 4.35%. What? Could reach a competitive level. So raising the sales tax could make us more competitive than who? Than New York? And he says this would generate the resources necessary to help end street homelessness. No, it wouldn't. Through best practices, that's another buzzword, and creating housing opportunities, buzzwords, at all levels. Bullcrap. Okay, this is how this is how this is how politicians do this. So we got to generate the resources. That's money necessary to help end street homelessness. You're not going to do that because these people are. They could take all your resources and run right through them. Through best practices. Okay, what are those? Where's the paper? I've been looking for the paper on what best practices there are, and creating housing opportunities at all levels. These people are not homeless because rents are too high. And although rents are too high, they're out frickin' outrageous. But these people aren't homeless because of that. It would take the people who protect it. Okay, now he's talking about police and fire department, which fine. And properly invest in the downtown, expand community violence programs. Okay, what is a community violence program? That would be a cop, right? Or patrols. It would have us invest in after-school programming, summer learning, and workforce opportunities for the youth. Okay. Well, the youth can go out and get opportunities. They can. When I was a youth, I didn't need the city to do this. Me and other youths got together and we went and mowed lawns and we shoveled snow because we had snow up there and up there in the Michigan dairy. We had snow, we had lawns, we had leaves. We did things. When we were in what? Cece is texting me. Tell him about the painting. No, no, you're calling me. What? Really? You think I should? Okay. All right, I will. Real quick. So when we were in high school, yeah, we were like in 10th or 11th grade. We were helping this guy paint houses, and we got paid measly amount. It was probably he was probably ripping us off, but who cares? We were having fun. We were painting houses, and we went into like a Sherwin-Williams, and they had this stuff on sale called hydraulic paint. And my buddy Ken and I were looking at each other like, wow, look at that hydraulic paint. That must be really tough paint. So we went and asked them, what's hydraulic paint? And they told us it's the paint that you can't write on. It's it's the stuff. If you remember back in the day in school, half the wall was slippery. It had a slick sheen on it. That's hydraulic paint. So we we bought like 10 or 15 gallons. They were in 5-gallon buckets, and they were like $50. It was really cheap. So then we stapled flyers around the neighborhood that we would paint your garage floor. We would paint your garage floor with hydraulic paint, and it would keep it from staining. Anyway, the one thing that happens when water gets on hydraulic paint is becomes really slippery. So we were painting. We were painting this lady's house. We painted her garage, and with a hydraulic paint, and she said, "Would it work on my wooden porch?" She had this wooden porch. It was a nice house, and we said, "Sure." We were kids. It'll work on anything, so we painted that. And she called us after it rained one day, and she said she slipped. She was going out to get the mail or something, and she slipped on her derriere, and she was calling us up, asking us, "Is that paint slippery when it gets wet?" And we're like, "Well, no, it shouldn't be." Anyway, we went back and took the hydraulic paint off, and we hired this kid, little W, and we told him to, like, I think we paid him like $10 to scrape all the paint up so we could paint. It was a mess. Anyway, at least we made money. We didn't need what is this, the workforce opportunities for youth. They can go out. They can go out and get themselves some hydraulic paint and and start painting people's. I can't remember what we did about the garage, and start painting people's garage floors like we did. You can go out there and do these things yourself. It doesn't. You don't need a government program for it. You just need to let them do it, and it's really aggravating that we have to invest in the after school program. And listen to this. Okay, they're saying it's gonna be $80 million that we'll raise, and they're never right about that either. But they're saying it's going to get the homelessness done, create housing, pay the cops in the fire department, expand community violence programs wherever the hell they are, and then invest in after school and summer learning workforce opportunities for the youth. That's a lot of stuff to do with $80 million. That's not even. Now, wait until I tell you how much some of these people make. So he has several new initiatives to helping and here's that word again, unhoused population, the unhoused, homeless, pinheads. He said the city recently closed its first homeless camp and was able to move those residents into some form of housing. Really? Where? He announced plans to open a winter shelter starting Monday through March, I guess that's next week, through March 2026. Tulsa has reached a deal with the town of Tulsa County to purchase the old juvenile detention facility. That's a low barrier shelter for the long-term goal of the city. A low barrier shelter. That doesn't sound good. Low barrier means anybody can stumble in and stay there. See, this is another thing that they're doing. Okay, they always do this stuff, and you have this. Now they purchased some detention facility, and low barrier means that come one, come all, right? So what are I'd love to ask this to 5 Cent. What are the expectations that the city's going to have for these people who they're giving this largesse to? What are their expectations? Are they getting allowed to bring in drugs, booze, beer, have parties? What are the expectations for these people? So, he said over a year ago when I was elected, I vowed to make Tulsa the safest big city in the country. That's just boilerplate, yada yada talk, political talk. So the rest of it's just, but at least he had it open. I don't think he took any questions. I'd like to ask him a few questions if he wants to come on. So that's the other thing I was talking about. He seems, and again, my daughter met him at Union. He came into her class, and she said he's really nice, which I'm sure they are to kids. I don't know if he'd be nice to me. I know Vanessa's not going to be nice. I'll tell you that. So I'd like to ask him. I want him to succeed because I live here. But I'm afraid that if you're throwing money at these problems, they're just and you have no discipline. It's just going to be more garbage. And like I said, kids kids can get out there and they can do stuff. They know. What? Yeah. Right. Yeah. Right. I mean, what did you do? You've been here all your life. You had well, that's really lemonade stand. What did you do? Oh, well, yeah, you were a girl. It was different for girls. Guys had to go out there and you ever mow lawns? No. Okay, that's Cece. No, she never mowed a lawn. So that's our other. That was our other thing in there, and it's interesting. I'd like to sit down and talk to the mayor, but I don't think he's going to do that, especially with my small, my small, right now, uh, my small, tiny YouTube channel. Anyway, now another thing, and this is the thing that really pisses me off. Okay, he wants another 1 cent, 1 penny, which is going to raise your taxes here in Tulsa to 10%, almost 10%, when you go to buy something. So if you have $1, 90%, 90 cents of that. If something's $1, it's gonna be $1.10, right? So it adds up because it's not just the 10 cents that I have to give the frickin' city for buying something, for going and spending money. It's all the other taxes. It's a water bill. It's this, it's that, it's everything else that they nickel and dime you to death. Uh, I can't get out of Oklahoma without paying a road. Do you remember? And I don't know, you probably do. My brother-in-law, late brother-in-law, lived here. He grew up in Oklahoma. He was half Cherokee, and he remembers. He was telling me that he was here. Right. Yes. Name was Walt, and he remembers when they were building the turnpikes. They were supposed to be temporary turnpikes, toll roads. Excuse me, I'm having some coffee. They're temporary toll roads back in 1963 or something. They're still here. These taxes aren't going to go away. They're just going to get worse and worse. I got to now pay, $3 or $4 just to get out of the state if I don't want to take the side roads. Holy crap! Excuse me. Sorry. All right. So, he wants another penny, or 0.7 cents, 7/10 of a cent, to be added onto our tax, our sales tax. And get this. Do you know how much, and I'm going to freak you out if you don't know this. There it is. Do you know how much the school, Tulsa Public School, let's see, Tulsa Public School, let's see, careers, superintendent, the Tulsa Public School superintendent salary is? Take a wild guess. The last one, Deborah Grist, I can't remember her last name. I remember I did not like her very much. She made $280,000, $231, almost $300,000. The governor only makes $150,000. Do you think she's worth it? Do you think that the product that she gives out, or the product that Deborah Gist manufactured, was worth her getting $280,000 a year of public money, not private money, public? That's mine and yours. The current superintendent, Dr. Ebony Johnson, that's just great. I'm sure she's going to do wonders. Oh, what? There we go. Oklahoma superintendent's wages surge as less money reaches classroom. $278,000. That was her last. That was Miss Gist's last paycheck. So really, I know if he needs money, if the city needs money, I know where he can get at least $100,000. And oh, Vanessa, she got a some kind of grant for $300,000. I want to know where that money went. Old Vanessa Hall Higgins or whatever her name is. So, so you start going through these numbers. I know where you can get $100,000 right now, and she'd still be making $180,000 if you took $100,000. What are they going to do? It's say, well, we won't get a good superintendent. Well, look at the product they're putting out. They're not good in the first place. So it's it's really amazing. Yeah, city. Yeah, there it is. If you're looking at this, holy crap. The the state the state uh the state person that does the hold on, wait a minute. Where'd it go? It just disappeared. Huh. Why is this yikes. So it just had it up. Well, they are here it is. Yeah, so the state department of public superintendent of public instruction, same education department guy, it's going up from 124 to $250,000. So the person who screws up the education here in Tulsa is making almost double that. Well, another $100,000, $130,000. She's making more. He's making 124 right now. She's making more than his salary right now on top of the new salary. 124,000 plus 250,000. That's what? 274,000. She's making more than that. The lady here in Tulsa. Pooh. Wow. The other, I mean, the labor commissioners pay. That's, you know, that's not. Some of these are in line. I mean, the governor and stuff, but the education. What the hell? We are not getting our money's worth. That's my problem with it. It's really stupid, and everybody complained about the old superintendent, wanting to put the Bible back in, but now we have no Bible in school, and no no, we're the last. We're number 50 in the whole United States, so we're not getting our money's worth, ladies and gentlemen. Anyway, so be happy. Be happy. We're only number 50, and I did want to get on and tell you about the SNAP, the food things, because it's opened up now. So, but man, 700,000 Oklahomans being on SNAP, being on food stamps. We call them food stamps. That's a lot. I think that just some people are cheating. I guess that some people are cheating, and others who deserve it aren't on it. So I guess it's trade off, but still, we are 1 in 5. We're 20%. 20% of us, might as well say, are qualify for food stamps. That's pretty bad. And no penny, no 0.7 a 0.7% increase on taxes is going to fix that. I'm sorry, just not going to fix it. So anyway, that's our show today. We did it in 40 minutes. We want to put together what? Oh, okay. So Cece is telling me that they said that they could do 6 lines. That we could have 6 lines for call-in. I think that's a little bit excessive right now. But we want to go live too, so we're going to be doing this live instead of recorded. So we'll have live, and then we'll have call-ins. That's their plan to do. So that's it. Where'd my thing go? Where'd it go? It's on. No. It's on my. No. My out. It is? Which one is it? Number 4? You numbered them. You should know. Well, I'll try it. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we'll be back later on. Gonna take some lunch. Cece, you're gonna join me for lunch, or you gonna? No? Okay. All right. So we'll be back. We're gonna do the international, national, intergalactic stuff next, and so give us a little about 20 minutes, and we'll be back at about 1 o'clock. Thank you very much.
Damn it, Dale. Jay Thomas is over. Now what am I going to do?
I like that one. It's happy. That is Kevin MacLeod. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.